Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence, where patrons get access to a patron-only Discord, ad-free videos, and the joy of knowing they help support this channel. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and today I have a bit of a quick look for you. It's not going to be a super exhaustive review, but I do want to go over a pen that is brand new and sort of brand new, refreshed anyway. So the Model 45 has been part of the Franklin-Christoph lineup for quite a while. It was taken off of the lineup, I want to say last year probably, when they retired a few models to be improved and changed in a few ways. So the Model 46 was like that, the 66, etc. And some of those have come back with, facets or that sort of thing. The new Model 46 looks just like this, essentially. In fact, I have a matching one here. The Model 45 is like the 46, but now it's just smaller. It's just a smaller pen than the 46 in kind of every direction. It uses the number 5 nib instead of the number 6. It is thinner. It's shorter. It's kind of just, the same sort of pen, but sized down by several percent. So I will show you a whole bunch of the 45 lineup because there are a bunch of different versions of this, including the original one, which maybe y'all are most familiar with. But this is the Model 45, the original Model 45 pen from, I don't know, years and years and years ago. 7, 10, I actually don't really know, but this is from that first run. This is the IPO, the initial pen offering, and I bought this off their table way back in the day, and I loved it so much I never really bought another one because I just kind of couldn't top this one, I think. It's just the one that I liked the most. So it was just kind of awesome. But I don't think this material even exists anymore, so we can't really do that again. But they usually come out first in black, and this is the first of 2 models for the Model 45 Core, which is Latin for heart. Isn't that nice? They released it in this color, which is black, with what they call Cathedral, which is that color of acrylic up there with all those like sort of stained glass looking panels, and then also in an antique glass. The antique glass went so quickly I don't have one to show you at all, but there were more of these, and so I do have a black and Cathedral one to show you. These are loaners. I haven't inked this one, but I'll show you some number 5 size writing here soon because I have some of those inked up. But this is what this pen looks like these days. It is definitely longer than the previous version, and the reason for that is because this can take a full-size standard international cartridge or converter. The original one was only eyedropper or cartridge. There was no way to put a converter in it. It was just too small. Like the little mini converters would work fine, but a full-size converter just wouldn't. This one, however, is still pocket pen sized roughly, but it will fit a standard international converter, no problem. So that's pretty cool, and a lot of us who like filling our pens from ink bottles, which is, I don't know, maybe most of us that would watch this channel, are gonna like that as an upgrade to the 45. The other thing that was added are these finials at the top and bottom. You can see we have the Cathedral up here and on the bottom. Also, it says 45 on the bottom now. Their newer pens have the number engraved down here in the base. Used to be that the number 45 or whatever the model name was would be engraved in the right here where a cap band would be, so like kind of around here. But the new ones forego that. In fact, they don't actually say. Actually, do they say Franklin-Christoph? Here we go. We have the F up here with the diamonds, but no Franklin-Christoph engraving on the pen, which I like. I like a design that will sort of tell you what the pen is more than a name. The other ones, it was fairly small. On this acrylic, you can see it pretty well, but on lots of acrylics, this would get lost, and a lot of people don't even know that there's writing on the pen. So I think having it on the bottom is actually kind of handy, and that's a nice looking little engraving there. Cool. The other thing that was added were these 4 rings here in the barrel, and this matches the 4 rings that are in the Model 46 barrel, as you can see there. So very, very similar. There were also some changes done to the way the cap slopes up here. It's got a more abrupt slope than the old one, which is much more gradual, but that's about it for that. So not a huge change, I think. Opening up the pen here, you'll see there's a section here with threads down at the bottom. I like threads down here, especially on a number 5 pen, because I'm not going to hold it right here. I would not actually be able to get the nib on the paper just because of the size of my hands. So I will end up holding it back here, and that's plenty long. You can use it unposted, no problem. It will also work just fine posted. This cap is very light, and it doesn't feel like it throws off the weight for me at all. Now, if you do have smaller hands, you might have like a different balance point here, and so you might not want to post it, but I think the cap is so light that I'm Not really worried about that at all. It's zero point 0.2 ounces is the weight of the cap here, I think. It's just not very much, so I ain't going to worry about it. So there you go. And there's the Franklin-Christoph nibs. These are, of course, all tuned in-house by my wife, Audrey, but hey, not a sponsored post. She just works for the company and has for quite a while. She is their nib tuner and grinder, etc., etc. Inside the pen, oops. I knocked the cap off there. Inside the pen, you'll see there's the nipple you will mount a converter on or a cartridge, and then this is of course kind of just empty because it's a pen body, pen barrel. But that's all there is to it. This is a fairly it's fairly simple in terms of use and form, but it has all these little details like the finials and the cap rings, or sorry, barrel rings and all that sort of thing here that are very nicely done. It does not take very many turns to uncap it. Let's see. I want to say it's like half a turn or something. Yep. Actually, is it slightly less? So maybe slightly less than 1/2 of a turn. So that is pretty good. These big flat Acme threads are very efficient, but they hold your cap on very nicely. And I don't find that these dry out at all. I've never really had a problem with a 45 drying out or other pens with that. Those big threads, they do hold air in or keep it out very nicely. All right, let's take a look at this next to a whole bunch of other pens right quick. So I'm going to kind of separate this one off to the side here. This is a really nice pen tray from Stationery Stack. Thank you very much, Addie, for sending this out for me. I really like it. It's called the Elfie, and it's kind of great, especially for showing pens in sequence like this. So here's what we have. This is the original Model 45, the most pocketed version of the 45 here, smallest for sure. Then the 45 core is the new version. This is the 45 long, or the 45L, which you can see is just a touch longer than the new Model 45, but this one was also made to hold a converter, and so I'm not surprised they're roughly the same length. They're also going to be the same in diameter and those sorts of things. It does, as you can see here, have the different cap geometry here. If we look at where the slope here starts, it's kind of way further down on the old 45L there. As you can see, it says 45. You can barely see the 45 there. Just because, like I said, a lot of materials really hide that branding. Then we have here the 45XL, which is an interesting pen. It's kind of like halfway in between, I guess. We do have a finial on these down here. In fact, it's not Cathedral. I want to say that's a Jonathan Brooks acrylic. I want to say that's one of the primary manipulations down there. And then this cap is, this was just one that was put together for this review. But green cap, black body, and a little finial. But this is really just kind of to show the length of the thing. So this is going to be kind of in the middle range now. It's more or less like the 45L that we used to have going on in this line. Then here's the new Model 46, which came back. Oh, I don't remember exactly when this one came back. Several months ago. I don't think it was as long as a year, but several months ago we got the new 46, and it has it's pretty much the sort of much larger sibling there of the 45 core. So we got the 46 core and the 45 core there. You can just see they are different sizes, and that might be a lot of people like writing with the number 5 size nib. That's really good for a lot of people's hands and grip, and just sort of it's extremely light. So let's talk a few stats on here real quick. Okay, so when it is capped, this pen weighs 0.4 ounces. When it is uncapped, Legadis. It weighs 0.3 ounces. So I was wrong. This weighs 0.1 ounce. So yeah, I think anybody would be able to post this one and use it just fine. It does cap very securely, or rather post very securely on there. I'm not worried about that coming off. So that's pretty good. In terms of length, what we end up having here is when it is capped, it is just a smidge over 5 inches long. It is 5.03 inches, which is about 128 millimeters. So pretty good size, I think. It's big enough for a converter, as we've seen, but also I think small enough to qualify as a pocket pen, if you ask me. Then uncapped, we end up with a length of 4.68 inches, or about 119 millimeters. So still, a very respectable size, and it fits in my hand quite well. And then posted, we end up with the longest length, of course, but that is just a smidge over 6 inches, at 6.06 inches, or 154 millimeters. So, and that's including the nib on there. Yeah, so yeah, really nice. I think this is a good size. It's a good size for even my hand. I do like it when a pen at least hits this webbing back here. That makes it very easy to use. And I like where this little shelf is. I will say, like, the only thing, like the only nit I would pick with this, I think, is it does have this little step, but this one feels pretty good. Let's see, if they rounded off any. It's still pretty square, but it doesn't bother me at all. It's kind of like gives me a sort of a place to, I don't know, it gives me a little bit of traction on my thumb, I guess is what I'm saying, and it feels nice to hold in my hand. So I think that's pretty good. In terms of diameters, body diameter, it's about half an inch or 13 millimeters. The cap is just a smidge bigger. So the body is 0.51 inches. The cap is 0.55 inches. It's a millimeter difference between the body and the cap. So not much at all. And then the section here is right where I like it, which is between 9.7 and 11.7 from the smallest area up to the widest area. So depending on how you like to hold a pen, this is kind of right in my comfort zone. I really like a 10 or 11 millimeter section. That's a really comfortable place for my fingers to be. So yeah, this is good. I'm liking it. I'm interested to see what it's going to look like in other colors, but I gotta say the rings here really do stand out well on the black. I think that looks real nice. Gives it just a little bit of a touch of interest, you know, instead of having just a straight body on here with the tapers, and if with these little rings. I think it looks pretty nice. I was kind of on the fence about the rings on the 46 for a bit, but I think it looks really good on this one. All right, so there's your stats and all that. Price. The price of this one is $145 as it is just coming out. I don't know if that's going to change. Sometimes it's been the case that earlier pens cost a little bit less and the prices go up a bit, but I don't know if that's going to happen with this one or not. 145 seems like a pretty good place for this. It is a little bit more expensive than the previous versions of the 45, but it does have the finials and all that, so it is extra work and that takes extra time and material, and so, you know, that's going to bump the price up just a little bit, but it's not that much more expensive than the old 45 long. So I think it's a pretty good price point for a pen like this. So there you go. If you want to see a little bit of a writing sample, we can do one. What have I got around here? This one has one. So this is a model 55 with the aluminum section in the middle there. I really dig that, and I have a really dark ink in here that we can try out. I haven't used this pen in, well, actually, I was sitting here. I probably used it in the last day or two, but let's give it a try. This is the Franklin-Christoph. Yeah, pretty good. This is a really nice nib. I like the number fives a lot. They feel a little bit more. They have a little bit of spring to them, unlike the number sixes. The number fives, you do get a little bit of line variation, or at least you can. Especially with the finer nibs, they tend to be a little bit on the springy side. But, yeah, it writes really well. And it's just a regular old medium. They have everything from needle points up to. Wait, do they have a needle point? Actually, I'm not sure. Probably a needle point up to like 1.5 stubs. So all kinds of things, stubs and italics and sigs and all sorts of things. Lots of grinds available in that number 5 size, and they feel really nice. And ends up being a nice little pen. The 45, the 45 is a little bit shorter than the 55. I hadn't measured these next to each other, so yeah, there you go. This one is substantially heavier though, with this chunk of metal in the middle, but yeah, I like it. I think it's cool. I'm excited to see these at the Triangle Pen Show this weekend. Who knows? I might come home with one if they have one that really calls to me. I got to get some of these new pens in the house. So there you go. Let me know what you think about this one, and you know which 45s are your favorite, and whether you're going to be picking up one of these and you find the one that you'd like. You can find these over on their site, Franklin-Christoph.com. I'll have a link down there in the description. Tell them I sent you. It won't get you anything, but it's nice for people to know. And I'll see you in another video soon. Until then, think about what you put out in the world and make it a better place. Peace out, y'all.